There are real questions about Jill Stein and connections to Russia, but I've not really talked about them because, quite frankly, I don't really care about Jill Stein. I find Jill Stein irrelevant and unqualified to be president of the U.S. Bernie Sanders, on the other hand, while I have a number of criticisms of Bernie Sanders, I don't find Bernie to be irrelevant and unqualified. And there's now a Hillary Clinton advisor named Adam Parkamenko who alleged on Twitter that Bernie Sanders may have colluded with Russia. I told you last week about those leaked portions of Hillary Clinton's upcoming book, What Happened is the name of the book. And some parts of her book relate directly to Bernie Sanders, which makes sense. And Adam Parkamenko sent a series of 3 tweets. And in those, he sort of mentioned that he believes Bernie might be tied to Russia in a sort of PS in his 3rd tweet. I'll read the series of 3 tweets to you, starting with, Ready for Hillary was a movement, was proud to run the pack. We didn't sell those. Also, how could Bernie have won when Bernie lost? So much fake news. You go to bed at night praying a fake Democrat runs again in 2020. Brady, Amber, Magnitsky, sanctions. P.S. You seem to ignore the Russia support online for Bernie during the primaries. The guy is hiding something. Not sure I want to know what. What on earth is this about? It seems like it's very out of left field. A couple people emailed me. They said, David, Parkamenko's Ukrainian American. So that's why he's saying this. I think more relevant to me is that Parkamenko was recently rehired by Hillary Clinton to help manage Onward Together, which is this new project that she started in the spring with former Governor Howard Dean. And it's meant to fund and support a coalition of Democratic groups. So listen, last week when I criticized Hillary Clinton for some of the things she said about Bernie in the primary, I said it seemed like she just kind of didn't get a lot of what happened. A bunch of people wrote in and they slammed me. A couple people canceled their membership saying, David, you're too anti-Hillary for me. I'm not supporting you anymore. Sort of seems to go with the territory. My bigger concern is that this type of stuff will implode the Democratic Party even more because we have a situation that should be a win-win-win-win in 2018 and 2020. And that being said, because of lack of enthusiasm from the electorate as a whole and a whole host of other reasons, I gave you the math last week or the week before. Trump could win re-election with just 35% presidential approval. So when I start seeing this stuff, Bernie might have been the one who actually colluded with Russia from a former and I guess kind of current Hillary operative, if not advisor. What are the Democrats doing?
Yeah, especially if you're not going to bring any supporting evidence, right? I mean, he's not direct, not
it's just an assertion.
Circumstantial. He's just saying that. He doesn't actually have anything to back himself up.
3 people who, as far as I know, don't know each other, wrote me very similar emails over the weekend saying, David, you know what this is about, right? This entire Bernie colluded with Russia thing is the Bernie's an old commie Jew thing. And I honestly don't know about that. It was interesting that 3 different people wrote to me saying, this is just Bernie's an old commie Jew. That's all that this is. It's an ad hominem on him.
And also he's saying that how could Bernie have won if he lost? Does he not understand that the primaries and the general election are 2 completely different things?
Yes.
And in the latter one, you don't have an apparatus, a private apparatus like the DNC playing favorites.
Well, I guess they're playing favorites, but they presumably support the Democrat. But yeah, no, you're right. The DNC's influence was in the primary, but by and large. Very weird, and I'm going to continue seeing whether we ever get an explanation from Mr. Parkamenko about where he came up with this stuff.